I can make the argument. Would I really want it to happen? Probably not, but I can understand the argument.
So why wouldn't you want it to happen?
Because selfishly, I like having a say in what happens. But I was out in California completely apolitical. Well, not apolitical. I kind of got brainwashed and tugged along. But I didn't vote for years. Nothing changed.
Do you vote now?
My life, huh?
Do you vote now?
Yeah.
And you voted, who did you vote for in the most recent election?
Trump.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's unclear to me why you would view that as selfish when I think the principle being, no taxation without representation is generally defensible. And I don't see that as any more particularly self-interested or selfish. I do think it's reasonable for participants in a society, regardless of their sex, gender, et cetera, to want to be able to vote and have representation within, representative or constitutional republic, representative democracy, et cetera, within the United States. But
I can say a lot of the policies.
You wouldn't push for it, right? Not only because you think it's unrealistic, but I think that you also seem to believe that it would be more unjust than just to push to repeal the 19th Amendment.
I just don't see the policies that would come down from institutions of which I voted for, and they actually don't change my life a lot. I mean, maybe taxes, but let's say for medical care, I don't know. I've always kind of lived outside the system, so personally, I don't think it would really matter to me. But again,
it wouldn't matter to you if you have the right to vote, or if the 19th Amendment were repealed.
I don't think it would change how I lived my life one way or the other.
I think it would change your life significantly, and I do think that you believe it's important to be able to vote because you participated in our last political election.
I did.
And since you don't believe that, if you believe that women's role should primarily be relegated to the home, what are your thoughts on the Trump administration having an unprecedented amount of women in power?
I didn't
Even
say
both the first and second term. Like the first term, he appointed Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. That nomination went through.
So Trump's not a sexist? Misogynist?
No, I didn't go that far.
So he's a sexist misogynist who puts women in power?
No, I don't think those are mutually exclusive. Do you?
Yeah, well, I don't see a lot of misogynists who are sexist putting women in power. No.
But so you think it's mutually exclusive?
Can you name for me the most sexist misogynist person you can think of who's like, I love having women in power?
Can you tell me if you believe it's mutually exclusive?
Answer the question
first?
Before you ask one.
I asked the question first, and you never answered mine. I said, do you believe that it's mutually exclusive?
I asked the question first, and the question was, do you see a lot of misogynist sexists putting women in power or not?
And I asked my clarifying question first to get an understanding of where you're coming from.
Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm so confused. Which part of this are you not understanding? Do you see a lot of misogynist sexists putting women in power or not? Anything in there you need to find. Hang on.
Yes.
Anything in there you need to find, I'll define for you.
I like to answer your question.
Okay,
yes, I do
where?
See that. The Bush administration, his Secretary of State was Condoleezza Rice. I don't think that George Bush would identify himself neither as a feminist nor somebody who
Did
really
George Bush put a lot of women in power?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think that he had quite the amount of appointees, of female appointees, and women within his cabinet.
So we just generally look around at like corporations that put women as boss CEOs and things like this and go, those fucking misogynists. Or does that usually mean something different? Like, for instance, do you think that maybe that would mean or give evidence towards they're not actually misogynistic, sexist? Wouldn't that be better evidence for that?